Welcome to Tall Tales, Short Stories, and Dusty Film Cans. Enjoy a story created to inspire and ignite. Long before history flattened passion into paragraphs and turned gods into marble, there was a story too dangerous to survive untouched. This is not a tale of lovers. It's a tale of warpaint and wine, of power shared like a secret and burned like a torch. Inspired by the legendary tragedy of Antony and Cleopatra, the Falcon and the Lotus reimagines their love not as a fall, but as a rise so volcanic the world still feels the heat. Enter a world of thunderous romance, knife-edge dialogue, and empire-shattering desire. Cassian Valor, Satia Neferu. He, the fire of a dawning republic. She, the serpent queen of the sand. Together, they didn't find love. They weaponized it. And when the ashes settled, even the stars remembered their names. Welcome to the legend behind the legend. We've reached the finale in this journey of the Falcon and the Lotus by 11 Goddess. Let's begin. Chapter 6, The Western Knife. The letters came on black paper, sealed with crimson wax and smugness. Cassian read them all in silence, then set them aflame without blinking. They were from Rain, his old ally turned usurper, urging surrender, offering exile, and promising a future that smelled of chains. Satia watched him from the balcony, her arms crossed, her silhouette framed by the dusk. He thinks we're bluffing. He thinks I'm still his, shouted Cassian. You were never anyone's, she said. That's why I chose you. The city below bristled with preparation. Smiths hammered blades in rhythm with the war drums. Ships were coated in obsidian pitch. Armor glinted like shark skin in the torchlight. Thebes no longer slept. It breathed. At the War Council, they planned 3 battles at once. 1 by sea, 2 by land. None would be clean. All would be legendary. You understand, said General Marnus, pointing at the map, that this is madness. Cassian leaned in. That's what makes it art. And so they sailed, under moonless sky, under banners that declared war with every gust of wind. Rain's fleet met them like a scorned lover, loud, brutal, and already too late. Cassian fought like fire incarnate. Satia directed fleets with a hand steady enough to shame the gods. For a brief, breathless moment, it looked like victory. Then came the betrayal. A trusted captain turned. A false signal was sent. Their line broke. Cassian stood on the deck, blood in his mouth and fire in his chest, watching Satia's flagship drift away in chaos and smoke. He couldn't see her. He couldn't feel her. He thought she was dead. So he did what men like him do when they think the story is over. He ended it himself. By his own sword, like a legend, like a fool. But Satia wasn't dead. She crawled from the wreckage, her crown broken, her robes burned, and when they told her what he'd done, she didn't scream. She just closed her eyes and whispered, "He better be waiting." Chapter 7, Ashes and Empires. The room where he died was silent. No hymns, no witnesses, just his blood pooling like ink, soaking into the wood. The blade was still beside him, and his hands were clenched, as if even in death, he refused to let go of the fight. Satia found him at dawn. She walked barefoot through the wreckage of the fortress, past charred tapestries, shattered marble, and bodies who'd sworn to protect him. Her gown was torn. Her face was streaked with ash, but her spine was straight. Her fury held her upright. When she saw him, she did not cry. Not at first. She knelt beside his body and traced the line of his jaw like she was memorizing it. "You idiot!" she whispered. "You beautiful, infuriating idiot!" She sat beside him for hours. Guards came and went, silent as ghosts. No one dared speak. No one dared touch her. And then, finally, Satia stood. She took the crown from her ruined hair and placed it on his chest. "He would have hated the funeral," she said to no one, "so we won't give him one." She turned to her generals, her voice like shattered glass in prophecy. "Burn this place. Leave no stone standing. Let the world learn what happens when you try to kill a god." The sky filled with smoke, and when the fire reached its peak, she stepped into the flames, wrapped in silk and silence. Some say she died. Others say she vanished. A few whisper that the gods, out of respect or fear, carried her away. But in the years that followed, every empire that rose tried to ban her name. None succeeded, because love that grand doesn't vanish. It lingers. And in the oldest corners of the world, when two lovers risk everything, someone always says, "Be careful." That's how the Falcon found the Lotus. Epilogue. What the stars remember. Centuries passed, empires rose, fell, and wrote their own names over the ruins, but the story remained. Children in distant markets whispered of a warlord who knelt to no one but a queen, of a queen who crowned herself with flame and took a god to bed. Lovers traced each other's skin and said, "Call me Cassian, call me Satia." The historians called them myths, the poets called them truth, the people called them warning. In the farthest corners of desert and sea, two constellations rise together each year, one like a falcon with burning wings, the other a lotus unfurling in the dark. They dance just once, then vanish. They say it's just stardust, astronomical coincidence. But every year someone watches and says, "They returned." Even the sky remembers. And somewhere, where gods no longer rule but still eavesdrop, a voice answers, "Of course it does. You don't forget the ones who tried to set eternity on fire." I hope you enjoyed this tall tale. There are more to come, so like and subscribe and stay connected. Content, designs, and music are all created by 11 Goddess. Thank you for joining us.